Thomas Beck, an experienced police sergeant, is faced with a series of crimes that are completely out of the ordinary. In recent weeks, the city has been shaken by attacks, robberies, and murders committed by people who have never before come to the attention of the police. These criminals behave strangely, they become incredibly violent, are not afraid of death at all, and their actions sometimes seem devoid of common sense. Beck faces the difficulty of how to find logic in the actions of those who were previously considered model citizens. One such person turns out to be Jack DeVries. He was once an ordinary man, not standing out in any way, but suddenly his life takes a drastic turn. He robs several banks and shops, kills people, and causes chaos, as if driven by some unknown force. In the CCTV footage, Jack expresses no fear or emotion, only cold concentration. During the chase, he easily evades the police, demonstrating incredible agility and lack of self-preservation instinct. On one of the city streets he is caught up with, but instead of surrendering, he throws himself at the police. His car crashes, but even after a serious accident, Jack gets out of the car as if nothing had happened. The shooting only ends when he is fatally wounded. At the hospital, doctors try to save his life, but the wounds prove too severe. On his deathbed, Jack whispers something inaudible, and then his body is finally motionless. However, this is not the end. At the same moment, another patient in the next room begins to behave strangely. This man, who is suffering from a serious illness, suddenly comes to life with a new vigor, as if some kind of energy has been injected into him. No one notices how he gets up and leaves the hospital, leaving behind him an empty ward. Beck is trying to make sense of what's going on when an agent from Washington named Lloyd Gallagher joins the investigation. This man seems strange from the start. His mannerisms, intonation, looks all give away something unusual about him. Lloyd claims the crimes are connected, but he doesn't explain how. He speaks in riddles, as if he knows something the others don't. Beck doesn't trust him, believing that the FBI is once again meddling with the local police, but circumstances force them to work together. Meanwhile, a new host, a man who left the hospital, continues the bloody crime spree. His actions also defy logic. He robs shops, takes expensive cars, and goes racing as if he enjoys the chaos. He acts without a plan, but with a kind of inexplicable confidence. Lloyd explains to Beck that the reason for everything that is happening is something beyond human comprehension. He says that there is an alien entity operating in the city, moving from body to body, taking over people and turning them into puppets for its own purposes. The sergeant at first does not believe these words, considering them fantasies. However, the facts speak for themselves. Every time one of the criminals dies, a new one appears in its place, as if the criminal wave cannot stop. The creature's new host participates in a car race, showing off his incredible skills. The police raid the car, but this only draws attention to the host. He acts as if he's enjoying everything that's going on, laughing when gunshots ring out around him and jumping out of his seat when it looks like he's been cornered. Gallagher and Beck try to anticipate his actions, but find themselves one step behind each time. Beck begins to notice oddities in his partner's behavior. Gallagher has knowledge that cannot be explained and anticipates the creature's actions as if there is some kind of connection between them. One day he saves Beck, pulling him out of the fire at the last moment. Beck feels gratitude, but also a growing distrust. He feels like Lloyd is hiding something, and he tries to ferret out the truth. At one point, they find a witness who saw the creature's host leaving the scene. This man is scared half to death, his story is confused, but he describes the behavior of the criminal, calling him not human. The words of the witness make Beck question his beliefs. He begins to realize that something truly supernatural is going on in the city. The creature, meanwhile, changes its body. Its new victim is a woman who works in an office. This body gives him access to new abilities. The creature acts quickly, as if it knows it's being hunted. It uses human bodies as tools, not caring about the consequences. Beck and Gallagher finally get on its trail. A shootout in an office building ends with another host body being killed, but the creature slips away again. Beck demands an explanation from Lloyd. He finally reveals the truth. He says he is a member of another race, a hunter who has been tracking the creature for a long time. Gallagher explains that the creature is a parasite that lives off other bodies. His purpose is chaos and destruction. He reveals that he lost his family to the creature and vows to destroy it. Beck is stunned by what he hears, but has no choice but to believe. The final battle unfolds in a building where the creature is trying to take over another body. This body is an important politician, and if the creature achieves its goal, it can gain access to power. Beck and Gallagher enter the battle. During the battle, Beck risks his life, but he manages to distract the creature. Lloyd uses a strange weapon that destroys the parasite once and for all. In the final moments, Lloyd, seriously wounded, explains to Beck that his mission is now complete. He says that he stays in this world only because now he has nothing to do with home. Beck is shocked by everything that has happened and realizes that his life will never be the same. Lloyd disappears, leaving the sergeant alone in the city, which gradually returns to calm.